Alright, guys, before I render and post this video, I'm going to give you this little intro here. I brought Roe versus Wade into this subject matter with the Angry Guy YouTuber and AJ's RANTS YouTube channel to make my case that the reason I brought Roe versus Wade in it is because it dovetails into the abortion issue, and it's one of the chief reasons why I think this shit with these women that they're talking about, why the world is such a mess. And the cause of the problem is also these dudes that are chasing after these chicks that Angry Guy and AJ's RANTS is talking about. And these guys are also the reason why they wanted to legalize abortion the way they were doing, and why they were patronizing, I said this in videos too, why they were patronizing women and calling it reproductive rights and simping up to them. It's not because any dude that's a politician, it's not because they care about women's right to choose. They're worried about the scandals because they can't keep their dicks in their pants any more than these women can keep their legs closed. And like I said, they all want to do whatever they want, to go run to the bar and the club and have everybody else pay for their abortions because they were too drunk or stoned from going to the club or the bar to remember or to take the whatever products you buy at the drugstore to stop these pregnancies and yada yada. That's why you're hearing about these YouTubers talking about this shit. So without further ado, on with the video. Alright, what's up, guys? Time for another video, and gonna talk about the YouTuber, the Angry Guy, a little bit. And don't get me wrong about this. Yes, I'm doing another video, a second video with the Angry Guy YouTuber as a topic. And yes, it picked up enough of a view count that it's worth doing again. But don't get me wrong, I don't do that shit just to get a view count. Matter of fact, I've done that before, and I've done other videos anyway, because I say shit that's on my mind. And if it didn't get a view count, a substantial view count on that last one, hey, it's on my mind, fuck it, I go and do it anyway. So anyway, any of you guys that were watching that one, I'll tell you why the kind of content appeals to me. I understand the comment on this video. They were saying, oh, the Angry Guy, he used to be known as something else or whatever the hell, and he used to be this or that or whatever. And I guess they were suggesting, you know, he was a grifter. Well, who the fuck isn't a grifter? But anyway, the indication that commenter said, and I said, my attitude is I understand that. I mean, and I don't give a shit. I'm saying the reason why that kind of content appeals to me, not to tell my life story, and I think that content appeals to other people, and not that I want to speak for them exactly, but for one, it makes me laugh and remember some of my glory days. You know, how women are like women or girls you went to school with in a day, and shit like that. Everybody went to school with some chick that says, oh yeah, they're gonna get some guy they think they're worthy of, some guy 6 figures or whatever. And you get some of them that think they're the sexiest person on the face of the earth, and you get the ones that, nothing against the weight class or anything, they're average, even if there's somebody in school that doesn't like you or whatever, and they snide comments to you like we all get. I mean, they can be average, nothing against them. They're average looking person with all their, how you put it, average looking, you know, everything facially is in the right place or whatever the hell. But they're thinking that they're something like Miss America or some shit or whatever, and then they'll talk down to you about, oh yeah, you're not a hipster, you should get a haircut or this or that, you know what I mean, or whatever too. But then fast forward, you'd be in these workplaces, you got the cliques I'm just telling you why this shit appeals to me anyway. You got these cliques that you work next to that act no different than school kids. You got the cliques they're looking whether they're married or not, or they're single. Yeah, I can't wait till the job's over so I can go get me some whatever. And my point, it was from school days up until work days, everybody else couldn't wait, especially the girls, even more than the guys. Yeah, can't wait till they get to be 21. In my opinion, the girls are worse than the guys that way. Oh, and talking in parentheses, before I saw the angry guy, AJ's rants, I was looking at his shit. His shit also reminded me about all these chicks, how they end up. But anyway, there were some of them, like, if you want to talk about AJ's rants, YouTube channel, and angry guy, they're talking about the ones that think that they're entitled to a guy with 6 figures. But yet, I said this in other videos too, which I'm trying not to make the video too convoluted, but it's so convoluted to talk about because people, like even girls you said went to school with, they'll say one thing and do another, and they wind up with the total opposite, and they pick up some creep, and they end up like AJ's rants, his YouTube channel, these single mothers. That's how some of these ones that talk down to you back in school, even though you ended up with these losers. And there were times back when you were in school, there was that chick that was good friends with you, right? And you talked or whatever, no relationship going on, and they'd be complaining about these relationships they were in and out. And then one day you rather not jeopardize a friendship, and you'd be like, oh, one day says, well, give me a shot, done that before, and they're acting like they're looking for something higher class. Then fast forward, yeah, there's no contempt on your part, neither mine, and they have some polite things that they would change about you, even though you're friends. But fast forward later, a few years ago, you're out of high school. Where they end up with some creep that got them pregnant and all that, and then once in a while, you'll get that one that'll complain with a sob story, and their action. Well, you'll get the ones that were friends at first and talk. Then later on, whatever reason, they're talking down about you and all that, and then they're dumb enough to give you all the information to gratify yourself anyway. But can't even say this without laughing, but yeah, I'm kind of stopping myself between certain things, trying not to jump subjects, because there's subject matter in this that you can do entire videos about. But yeah, you get these other kind of yeah, they're very hard to describe because they're very unpredictable, and it's not like your group and all women together in the one class. But all these ones that the angry guy and AJ's rants talks about. Anyway, what I'm basically trying to say is, when TikTok and things like that come along, these people women complaining on TikTok about every little thing about guys or whatever. Some of them may have been in my generation, and probably about my age. I'm basically like 52 now, but you get some of the older ones, and some of the ones that are maybe 10 years younger would probably be the ones, for example, that I'm about out of high school and they were still in the lower grade in high school. Or, everybody going to school on the same kind of buses, and they're kind of one generation next to you, even though you're basically out of high school and they're moving right into, in your the high school years. So you basically got a couple generations. So anyway, you get the older ones and younger ones on TikTok, right? And trying to take you before this internet thing or YouTube or TikTok came about. Some of them, yeah, were from my and maybe your generation, and then they get a hold of the new technology. They're all bitching, becoming victims that get sympathy. And I can barely say any of this thing without busting out laughing. That's why I don't make videos like this all the time, because I don't want to jump subjects, because there's some, it sounds so convoluted. They say one thing and then another. And, oh, if you got this far in this video, here's what I wanted to emphasize most. You know, before, like I said the last video in my glory days, like I says too, the very people I just wasted time speaking about in this video were the ones that were pissed at me when I landed a job out of minimum wage without getting a haircut, right? And what I missed in this video, what I meant to tell you too, is I was getting at it too, you know, before the internet came along, you know, the girls, more so than even some of the guys, couldn't wait till they turned 21 to go to the bar. And it dovetails into my views about abortion, okay, is in there too. I said, if you got with me this long, I mean, it can sound too convoluted because you're getting into subjects that you're doing whole videos about, but my opinions out of abortion is in there too, because back in my day, my generation, they wanted to run to the bar. And I'll say it right while it's on my mind. Yes, I believe in the exceptions, and I don't give a fuck that they overturned Roe versus Wade. I'm laughing about it. And because in my policy, because if you're paying attention when I'm getting at this way, I'm talking about the angry guy and AJ's rants, why it appeals to me and why we are amused by this shit. These women from my generation can't wait till they get old enough to drink to go to the fucking bar and the club. And at the same time, it hasn't changed. Like when I'm jumping from back when I was in school, these chicks I went to school with, to when I got a job out of minimum wage, right? And there's a reason for that, because they weren't always looking for six figures. Some of them were and wound up with losers, end up at the bar, right? But anyway, I brought up this being a Western PA thing, a Western Pennsylvania thing, but it's probably a thing wherever you live too. But in my area in Western Pennsylvania, from back then up until now, it wasn't just about, yeah, they'll get somebody in a bar for six figures if they can, if they're lucky. Or but it was also certain grades of women, if you will, also in Western Pennsylvania regarded it as like they feel like they landed somebody, a rich guy, if they had a job that works 10 hours, you know, overtime and out of minimum wage. And these guys I worked in warehouse next to all love to go to the bar to pick up women, but they're feeding into the egos of this women. They don't care as long as they get somewhere to park their dicks, and then they'll call you the word that the gay slur word that rhymes with maggot that you can't say on YouTube. That's actually the gay slur. Before you had this era on YouTube where gay and LGBT, okay, that they think the world revolves around them anymore. But you try to tell them that it wasn't always about them. You can be called the thing that rhymes with maggot just because you work at a warehouse or even back in high school or college. Because your priority in life doesn't revolve around as soon as you get out from work, you have to spend the money, go out to the bar and get drunk and go try to pick up chicks or whatever the hell. But anyway, back in that era too, you were told as a guy, oh yeah, you have to drink and smoke and you got to meet the women at the bar. And then the conservatives were like, that are also totally against abortion and the exceptions, they would be looking at me right and saying, oh, get a haircut. But at the same time, when I was in school or even up to now, it ain't all conservatives they're telling me get a haircut. You get these other side of the tracks that, you know, telling you that you better get a haircut or for you get a job anywhere. That used to be the rhetoric of the conservative crowd, you know, no pregnancies out of wedlock and shit like that, no abortions. But then even back in my day, it was, they didn't give a shit about conservatives. Everybody gave a shit about what's hip or whatever too, and people that are not even conservative or whatever. But anyway, they're all giving you dirty ass looks. These chicks give you dirty ass looks for getting money without getting a haircut, and you're not interested in going to the bar. They see, I did look at you in disgust. Yeah, you never got a haircut. And meanwhile, they're trying to go to the bar and land some guy, and then maybe in a month or so, they shack up and that guy's gone. They go to the, they become a single mother or whatever the fuck, and you know what they do instead of learning? They go to sometimes the same fucking bar. But anyway, these are the ones that, they want the abortions, and they call it reproductive rights. Because politicians are calling it reproductive rights. Why the fuck is it called reproductive rights? It has nothing to do with reproducing. It sounds better than the right to abortion. But anyway, all these women that the angry guy and AJ Rants talk about, if you got anything else out of this video, these are the chicks that some of us went to school with thinking they're such shit, and maybe talk down to some of us, and then give us dirty looks later, and when we're walking around single with money in our pocket. That's back when my 20s, you know. But anyway, like back then, you know, you're young and single for a lot of years, and you don't go to the bars, you don't drink or smoke or whatever, and they go to the bars to go pick up guys. They'll go in a club, and these are the kind of ones that they want the right to have an abortion and have somebody else pay for it. I mean, there's all the stuff that the pills or whatever you can take to prevent, even not that I am advocating running around and fooling around either, but these are the people that didn't take the whatever stuff that you got on the market now to prevent the pregnancies, that they got all the shit on the shelves of even the drugstores now that they can buy, you know, if they want to fool around like that. But what they do is they're too busy running the club, and they're too drunk or hungover or stoned the next day, and somehow they got pregnant. Guess what? Somebody else got to pay for it, or they're desperately trying to land some guy somewhere that'll help take care of the kid, and God forbid, hopefully the kid doesn't learn from the parent to just walk all over the guy either. Well, these creeps don't give a shit about the kid and don't give a shit about her, but there's scenarios where the guy may be a simp and he's trying to be over there and he's taking all her shit and then teaching the kid later to just, let the kid get away with murder or whatever. I heard, I don't want to go, this is all stuff separately from another video. I'm stopping myself there, but complaints that, some guys, I didn't regard them any better, but the complaints, all the talk in the warehouse environment. I'm getting into stuff that you can do multiple whole videos on here. It might sound convoluted, but it's very convoluted. A video will sound very convoluted when you got layers of hypocrisy. So what would make what I'm saying sound so convoluted? You'd have to, if you were to write about it, you'd have to write, like they taught you to do outlines of things in school, a number, subtopic, labeled with a letter, and so on, and maybe kind of written like a book I read called The BS Syndrome, which should be republished and other shit added to it, but I ought to read that one aloud in the video one of these days. But yeah, it dovetails into, guys know damn well what they're doing. They're not totally innocent either. Look what they don't care as long as they got a place to park their dicks. So we're not saying, I personally don't think guys are all the victims. In fact, the guys that, like I said, that talk down to me and call me the gay slur word that rhymes with maggot, which like I said, the LGBT side, it's all about them. They don't care. I'm not LGBT, so they don't care if... but anyway, you were called that by these guys that talk down to you to complain about the women, But anyway, they want to just go to the club. They forget to take whatever, the birth control they had, even though I'm not endorsing anybody to go run around and fool around like that either. But run to the club and then too busy clubbing and doing all that shit, running to the bars, and they're too hungover or stoned, you know, they take some guy home or guy takes her home. Oh, geez, and how are you going to remember in a state when you're drinking and partying to take whatever to prevent a pregnancy? Not that I'm endorsing it. I'm not fully conservative. I believe in the exceptions. But one thing I do not believe in, if you get anything out of this video, is that, yeah, I'm not, if it's any consolation, I'm not picking on just the women. The guys have roles in it too. But there would or shouldn't even be any arguments or controversies about abortion if one, these women kept their legs closed and quit going to the fucking club and the bar. Yeah, they want an abortion because they didn't take the precautions. You can't, like I said, you can't take those precautions while you're in a drunken state and thinking it's cool. Peer pressure, both guys and girls, from when you're in school up until later in life. And what, somebody else has to pay for it? They're entitled to abortion because somebody has to pay for it? But yes, I believe in the exceptions. Definitely, I believe in, unlike diehard conservatives, I believe in the exceptions. But I don't think people should have to pay for chicks like this. And yeah, it is like total bullshit. You know, they're calling it reproductive rights, but they want to just do whatever they want, don't keep their legs closed, and want somebody else to pay for the abortion. And yes, it's on the guys too. Guys damn know well what they're doing, and all they care about is a place to park their dicks and all that, and they'll be calling you the word that, I don't want to be repetitive, call you the word that... So people like me have smug, spiteful resentments on both sides there, you know what I mean? It depends on the girl and depends on the guy, but anyway, that's the kind of people that the government is fighting for the reproductive rights for. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be a controversy or an issue at all if these women didn't run around the club doing what they're doing, and the guys also weren't running around teaching each other, go to the bar looking for chicks to go bang or whatever, and call everybody else the word that rhymes with maggot, because they must be gay because, hey, as long as they're getting all they're getting every, thinking they're Mr. Stud Boy or whatever, should they give a fuck trash on somebody else that don't? It's almost like, well, they don't want to be the only lone pervert. That's the kind of society we're in, you know what I'm saying? So just because I get entertained by the angry guy in AJ's rants, and I believe a lot of their stuff is facts, yes, it's the damn guys too, you know what I mean? And you'd have, like I said, I would get these dirty looks. Somebody like me didn't have a haircut. It was held in high regard, you know, if you couldn't land somebody. If you're a girl and you couldn't land somebody 6 figures, going to the bar and landing a guy that's maybe a truck driver making some good money, or being a warehouse job out of minimum wage and being gone for 10 hours, and a lot of them. Yeah, these guys, they want a place to park their dicks. They don't give a damn if he's over there, you know, he's probably fooling around with whoever else is outside behind her back. They're both fooling around with each other behind their backs. They're looking for somebody to work 10 hours so they can, the guy's away, she'll play, and they'll get their girlfriends going looking for other guys behind his back. And he, especially if he's a truck driver or something somewhere, he's still out drinking, he's going there. Both the guy, in the scenario, both the guy and the girl are both looking for backups. And, for whatever the fuck why. That's what's wrong with this whole world anyway. I mean, if you got this far in this video, I really could have edited or deleted or started over, but like I said, it's so damn convoluted to talk about because the double standards and the They're not, they're swingers, and intellectually they're swingers, along with hypocrites. They swing this way and that way. Both the guys and the girls swing this way and that way, or appear to, for whatever damn reason, for their own advantage some damn way, and they get found out. Or yeah, Christ, yeah, the world is such a damn mess, you know what I mean? But anyway, the shit is so damn entertaining on YouTube. I mean, you can talk, guy, if you will, about, oh, the YouTuber, and talking about all these rants. Oh, he used to be this or that. Yeah, like I said, I understand that or whatever. I don't give a shit. All I know is they're talking about topics that make me laugh, because some of us, they make us laugh because some of us dealt with both dudes and chicks like this that would talk down to you, think they're so damn smart. Yeah, and I didn't even get into this video about the dudes, who some of them you worked in a warehouse with, but some of them end up working shit jobs and still live with their parents when they're pushing 30, where you actually made good money, didn't drink and smoke, and spent your money wisely and bought nice stereos, which Western Pennsylvania was like having a Cadillac. If you were somebody like me that didn't have a haircut, buy yourself a good, nice leather jacket, and start out your first apartment with the $2,000 stereo, but furniture that you got for free. And like Jeff Foxworthy said, you know, you were start out half starving and hand-me-down furniture, but you got some damn awesome tunes. Then you're looked down upon, and then people are jealous of you, and you gradually step up, you know. But that's a whole other story, you know.